Hello TikTokers and YouTubers alike, I'm Kyle and this is Storytime. This story takes place in the summer of 2013, 3 years after high school. Now I don't know what you did for your first job, but I worked in retail. I get anxiety thinking about it. It's just, retail is a terrible thing to do for a job. Now I've met a few people that don't mind it so much. But for the most part, it's very detestable. I kept up with all the yes ma'ams, no ma'ams, yes sirs, no sirs, and being polite. And you know the customer's always right. But I learned very quickly that the customer is never right. Now, I'm a pretty easy guy to get along with, for the most part. This dollar store was rampant with the plethora of people that you can think of, as any establishment in the retail world is. You've got the grouches, you've got the overly confident people, you have the people that are morning people, and if you work at an establishment where you have to open up the store, and you're dealing with these people, and you've only had 2 hours of sleep, working off of 1 cup of coffee, which is still not enough, only to elevate your heart rate, but not to wake you up mentally, those people made me hate the world for a very long time. Then you have the people that perpetually hate you because you're trying to be in a good mood and trying to greet them when they walk in. They don't want you to talk to them. They just want to get their stuff and get out. And then there's the reason I am telling you this story. The woman with a "may I speak to the manager" haircut. I used to think that was just a joke, but turns out it's real. I would say any woman that has that haircut is about 70% of them are like that. There is a small populace that just choose that haircut because they want to try something different. But for the most part, they feel that they are entitled to everything. So one day I'm at work running the register. Now, some register etiquette. Let me tell you something. If you are a cashier and if you are doing your job properly, you will not bag all of your stuff at the end of beeping through all of your product. You will do it as you go. This is a craft that I learned and I frankly am still an expert at. It's a trait that I'll never use anywhere else, except for critiquing those that work retail and for the self-checkout line at Walmart. This is crucial to this story, because on this very day, I was met with a woman that was entitled to everything in her life. As she approached my cash register, I saw all of her product and thought to myself, oh, it's about half a cart. That's not too bad. Started putting everything into bags as I went. And the other thing that's common sense when you're bagging things like bread, chips, things that can be crushed, smushed, anything to that effect, you put them on the top of everything that is in a bag. Don't put it at the bottom. That's a douche move. You don't want to do that. This woman had a package of Oreos. 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 This was the cornerstone of my working career. Oreos changed everything that day. As I'm bagging all of her groceries, I am putting everything in the bags properly. And as I move the bag with the Oreos to the left to be able to make room for the other product that she had, they fell to the side of the bag. Now, in my complete focus of the moment, I was just moving on to the other product. To which she looks at me and says, I would really appreciate it if you would not crush my Oreos. To which I looked at her and I said, oh man, didn't even notice that. Sorry about that. We'll put that back on top of the bag. I thought that was going to be the end of it. Maybe she had a slight moment where she let her guard down and, the real demons came out of her. She then looks at me and says, if I go home and my Oreos are crushed, I will come back down here and you're not going to like what I have to say. In this moment, everything changed. There's no more store. There's no more job. There's no more people. It's just me and the "may I speak to a manager" haircut woman. I freaking lose it. Now, for those of you that are in the audience that are below the age of 13, I'm going to keep this clean, but it somehow went like this. You flippin' bobbin' gobbin' get a son of I called this woman every name in the book. I destroyed her verbally. Now, mind you, while all of this is happening, my manager is standing to the left of me, watching all of this go down. I have been the nicest person in the store up until this moment. She broke my psyche. I had nothing left anymore. I ripped her apart. apart. I didn't even think it was possible for me to even say the hateful things I was saying to her in that moment. After I was done with my big spiel, because you have to understand, this was 2 years. 2 years of retail drama and saying, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am. Yes, it's 2 days past the sale, but we'll still give it to you. I don't know, let me call my manager. Oh, you want to talk to me? After 2 years of retail BS, the Hoover Dam just came plummeting down. It was rough. Just destroyed this woman. Oh my gosh. I really hope she's okay. Like, I don't even know where she is or if she's still even around. I couldn't even tell you. She never came back after that. I looked at her and I said, do you have anything else you want to say to me? I've been called everything but a white man this week. Do you want to call me anything else or complain about anything else? Did I pack your milk wrong? Did I pack anything else wrong for you? And she just looks at me and goes, I'm sorry. And I said, that's right, you're sorry. Your total's $34.46. Get out of my store. I didn't even own the place. I was just so angry. So she pays and she leaves. My boss looks at me and says, are you okay? And I looked at her and I said, no, I'm going on break. The next day, I put my 2 weeks notice in. And, yeah, retail's not for me.